Hello and welcome to today's live stream. Just getting everything set up. My phone in place so I can watch the chat. Microphone set up a little. Adjust this just a little bit. All right. Sorry, just have a little bit of technical difficulties here. At least that's what I'm calling them. Hi, Delaney. Hi, Dree. Hi, Myra. Hi, Miz. It's great to see all of you on today. So, for today's monster, I'm going to do a galaxy monster. Now, what I did is I softened up some clay. I have some Twinkle Twinkle, which is just a black with kind of glitter in it. Then I took this white gold glitter and mixed in some blue. And then I took white, pearl, and opal and mixed it together. So that way they all have a lot of sparkles to it. Hi, Jessica. And so what I want to do is I want to mix these in, swirl them together, and we'll use that for the base color of our monster today. Does anybody have an idea of what type of monster they would like to see? Or give me some basic shapes that we could use for our monster. So I'm going to roll these out into snakes before I swirl them, and I'm going to cut some off. I don't want to have too much of the color in there. I want the base color to be the darkest. A spiral monster, like a snake, have it kind of twisting around and then give it some kind of weird head. Does that sound like what you have in mind, Dree? So get that. No more like, Dree says, no more like an S with a fat middle, if that makes sense, like a spiral galaxy. Oh, okay. So, like bring it around like that, but then have it more thicker in the middle there. And then maybe then do the head. So it's kind of snake-like, but also kind of like a dragon with like a, I don't want to say like a Chinese dragon, but a regular dragon without legs, you know, where you have that bigger middle. Yes, like that. Okay. Miz says a winged monster would be cool, just with tiny cute wings. I could add wings to it, and I know there's a snake with wings that'd be kind of similar to that. So I'll see what I can come up with. The trick I've ran into with wings, if they are too big, which tiny wings I think I can get away with, is they droop, and so lots of times on my characters that have wings, I sculpt out the wings first and bake those, and then do indentions into the piece, take them out, bake that, and then glue them in place, if that makes sense. I did that. I did a lot of Weeping Angel stuff, and that's how I did the wings on those. But I think I can use a little bit of wires and just support small wings. And I could even do like a mixture of the blue and the white pearl together for the wings to make them stand out a little bit more. All right, so we're going to swirl this all together. We want to have a nice marbled effect to it. So we'll just get this mixed up. Is anybody working on any art today? Do any of you work on art while you watch my live streams? I know when I'm not filming, I watch a lot of YouTube and live streams while I'm working on art. I almost think I'm going to need maybe a little more black. Tree says I was making a galaxy-inspired junk journal. Cool. Delaney says I'm working on some sketch cards right now. Nice, Delaney. Miz says I had planned to have my clay out, but got stuck fixing dinner. Darn it. Jesse says I'm going to do some martial arts. That count? Absolutely, Jesse. It's right there in the name. Arts. Certainly not going to argue with it. So do we like that for the color, or should it have more black in it? Because I've got another block of the Twinkle Twinkle. We could also do it this way for now. Hi, Heather. Heather says I like it. All right. And hi, Jesse. Guess I answered your question, but didn't greet you. Dree says, no, I like it. Delaney says, look, amazing. Awesome. So, because we want to do a larger middle section, I'm going to use some foil for the base on that and cover it. Dree says, maybe twist it a bit. Oh, so let's see if they can. I'm going to have this cut off so I have some for appendages. I'll use this for the body. So like that, Dree, where it has more different directions. All right, so we're going to get this ball here. Dree says, yeah, all right. Heather says, what thickness do you start with to use the foil? I don't have a set amount, but like, obviously the blobs don't, and some of those have a larger body, upper body area. And so I've got, I'm gonna bring him in, Clover from one of my live streams. And Clover I used foil in the head and the body, but for the legs I didn't. Technically I would save a lot of clay if I did put foil in there, but it's going to create a lot more work. So it's kind of a combination of saving material and saving time. So pretty much anything about this size or bigger, I'm going to use foil. And I don't have an exact thing. I just kind of, when I'm making something, I'm just like, oh yeah, I want to bulk that up with foil first. I know they say you should bake clay for a half hour for every quarter inch. I don't necessarily follow that rule, and I don't really have too many issues. So, I'm going to get this all covered. And I could put a little more foil in there. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know if I want to tear this back off though, so I'm just gonna do a neck area. See, I can continue to roll this out, even though it's attached, to get my shape. Dree says, yeah, me neither. It really depends on so many variables. Yeah, there's a lot to determine, and just kind of go with whatever my gut tells me. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Kylie. Hi, this is Kylie. Sorry I'm late. No, that's fine, Kylie. Hi, Jessica. Jessica says she was playing Animal Crossing. Yes, I haven't gotten the new one yet, but I heard it was really good. I've actually watched videos on it because I'm one of those weird people that watch videos on games I don't have. I kind of want to twist this up so the head rests on the body. I don't know if this is too much different than what we were thinking. Dree says, Animal Crossing, I don't have it yet. It's sold out everywhere here. I prefer not downloading it. Yeah, I download some games, but not a lot. Well, a lot of the indie games I do, but a lot of the like full releases I don't. Do we like that, or should I bring the next in a different direction? I'm going to move my hands out of the way so you can see it. I can bring it around too and have it more snake-like. I feel like I'm getting away from that S shape that Dree recommended. Dree says, can the middle be the head? Oh, so like have this be the head and then have these tentacles come off of it? Absolutely. Miss says, looks good. So I'm just shaping some more. Still a little unsure what to do with these tentacles. It's like the galaxy monster is the galaxy. That's getting deep. All right. Do we want an open mouth or closed mouth? That's going to be our next decision. We can still kind of mess with these here a little bit. So I have my parts here pre-baked to add to the monster. So I'm just going to wait for a response. We want to. Heather Alston says open mouth. So we're going to do an open mouth. Should we have a tongue? Dree says he drags himself forward with the tentacles. I thought, yeah, so he's kind of like does this floppy walk with the tentacles. Dree says I like open too. Okay, so we're going to go with an open mouth. Get a couple votes for that. Now I just need to know if we want a tongue sticking out. Like Miles from last week. He's got a little tongue sticking out there. I can do something similar like that. I've got... Dree says I'm for tongue and teeth. I got some big tongues. I've got this split tongue. I think that would be a good one for him. Hi, Knick Knack. Knick Knack says those stripes look like Dr. Seuss bacon. Yes, it's some galaxy bacon here from Dr. Seuss. Everybody okay if I use the split tongue? Split, all right. So I'm gonna start building up the mouth area. So what I'm gonna do is take my ball tool and I'm gonna indent it some. And I have plenty of clay left over if I wanna build this up around it. But for now, I wanna have a spot to put the tongue. So for those who don't know, I pre-baked all these parts. There is a video on my YouTube channel that says let's make some monster parts. And I did that so I can attach these and they keep their form. For the tongues, I put a wire in each so I can stick them in and it'll stay upright. And there's not an issue with rebaking these, you just want to make sure you don't gloss them first. Myra also says split tongue. All right. I'm getting into the foil there, so I want to make sure I cover that up. So I'm going to get my mouth indented as much as I can. I'm going to take a little bit of clay in there to cover up the foil I exposed. And so I'm going to go around. I'm going to bring this up. All right. Now I could just poke this in and it shouldn't be an issue, but I could take this needle tool and basically start an indentation for that wire. Dree says, I was watching the latest live stream and I heard you might not be getting back to work anytime soon, Andrew. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's one of those uncertain things because of everything going on. So at the moment, I'm going to be doing a lot more art. So I'm going to just treat that as a positive and go from there. With any luck, I can make this my full-time job. So bring him up there. There he is with his tongue. And what are we thinking for teeth? Do we want, I got some spiky teeth. I have some just kind of like these little flat teeth. I think he's too small for that. Tree says that's the best attitude. Well, I've always wanted to be a full-time artist, and at the moment I am. Miz says, just booted up my laptop to see better while crafting, and it's lagging about 5 seconds behind. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Delaney says the tiny ones. Are you wanting the little spiky ones, Delaney? We can go with that. And should I do, how many teeth should our galaxy monster have? Set it down before I distort it too much. Dree says bask in it. Dree says 4 clearly. Clearly? Okay, so we're going to pick out 4 spiky teeth. And lots of times, I make these like real teeth so you can have this root so you can stick it into the clay and it'll hold it in place. But because his mouth isn't that deep, I'm going to put him on the front here, and then I'm going to add another layer for the lips to cover it up. I'm going to go with some a little bit smaller ones. And if these are too long, I can always cut them off. Lots of times on these spiky teeth, I'll use the X-Acto knife to cut them in half, and then I basically double what I have there. So I think that's what I'll do. And actually, I'll just use these two. Put my teeth up there. I'm done with those. Clean off my knife a little bit. It has residue from that opal clay, that mixture of opal. Opal has a lot of metallic flecks in it, or flakes, and those often kind of get in the way when you're cutting it, and then it kind of rips them. So I'm going to place some, and give them 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Place them far enough apart that I can get those bottom teeth in there and not have them overlap. And you'll see how it's sticking out. So even cutting it in half, I mean, going the length of the monster there on that bottom jaw. And this one, I'm gonna just trim it down a little bit more, and I'm gonna hold it in place, otherwise I'm gonna have something go flying. And I just threw that little speck away because I don't know what I would need that for. Knick-Knack says, looks like a Nintendo boss. Yeah. Huge, huge Nintendo fan. And in fact, I've been talking with Delaney and talking about doing some themed weeks. So probably not next week, or not this week, but the week after is going to be a Pokemon themed week. And I'm going to try every other week having a themed week. So if you ever have any ideas for themed weeks, please leave it in the comments section. Also, while I have you guys here, if you could like this video, I heard on live streams it really helps them get noticed. And so since we're still pretty early on in this, if you guys could like the video, if you like it, that would be awesome. So I'm going to build up some for its upper lip area. I just want to make sure I completely cover the tops of the teeth, the root area. And then I'm just using my finger to smooth it in. So the pattern's going to be a little bit different, but smoothing it in, it'll look like it was all one piece. And I just want to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to take my ball tool, slowly drag it back and forth across it to give a little bit of an indentation, so it has more definement to that lip area. Ms. says like twice. Thanks, Ms. All right, now we're going to do the lower lip jaw area. And I definitely want to add eyes to this guy, but I kind of like the way he looks right now with the eyes. It gives him a creepier look, but I think he'll be fun once we add some eyes too. So I've got my piece rolled out for the bottom lip. And now I'm going to try to move things up a little bit. I notice my camera is not quite where I want it to be. I'll make sure to move more into frame. So sorry about that, guys. Sometimes when I'm sculpting here, I'll sit there and keep talking, but then I'll notice I'm not in the best framing for the video. So we're smoothing in this bottom lip. Dree says I was just typing that. Well, thank you, Dree. Hopefully this is better now. You know, and I'm still fairly new at this, and I have no issue with constructive criticism. So if you guys ever have any input on anything that I'm doing in my videos, just let me know. Trust me, I want to be the best I can be at this. So I'm really happy with that. His mouth looks pretty good. His teeth are pretty tight, but I can bring that lip down a little bit more so you can see those points. Tree says it's good. All right, guys, so now the next question is, how many eyes do we want to put on our galaxy monster? And I have, so far we've done a three-eyed monster, a one-eyed monster, and another three-eyed monster. Hi, Brandy, how are you? We're just deciding on how many eyes to put on the galaxy monster. Tree says the colors really pop when it's up close. Far, it looks mostly black. Yeah, I was actually concerned about that when I was doing it. I thought, I don't know if it was gonna show up, you know, while I was sculpting it. I know I've done some galaxy things before, but never in a live stream. Dree says 2. Delaney says 1 huge. Dree says to make it more friendly. Brandy says 2. How about we do a combination? We'll do 2 eyes, 1 big and 1 small. Does that sound acceptable? So we'll go with Delaney's huge eye. Henry says it's pretty, don't get me wrong. No, I understand, because the way the camera and the lighting is. We could go like that. Jessica says yeah. So should I go that much different, or should I try to get this big eye on there with a little eye? So do we want to do medium and small, or small and large? I'll just keep these held up for a little bit. The left 2. Bigger. Okay, so we have 1 vote for each, medium and small. Great, great team here. Oh, Dustin. Medium and small. So we're getting more votes for the medium and small, so we're going to go with that. Plastic Planet, our Knickknacks Plastic Planet says medium and small. Medium, small, medium. All right, guys. So that's a preview of what this is going to look like. I'm going to actually get a bigger ball tool to do this. So I have the really big ball, but I'm going to use this one on this end. And basically, I just want to do a little bit of an eye socket for them to rest in. I can add some more clay around them to cover them with like kind of an eyelid. So my next question with the eyes. One second. Knickknack says that looks like the most epic Happy Meal toy of all time. Awesome. Yeah, it does have something you get in a Happy Meal. So the question now, I can make him, just leave him like this and even, add a little bit of an eyelid around there. Or I can add a lot and make him either mad or sad. I do like his look. He looks very Muppet-like, and I think I keep shutting the mouth a little bit. So we want eyelids on there, is what I'm getting. I'm getting eyelids, maybe a bison bump. Brandy says a lot of lid. Miss says mad, as he looks a bit goofy. Brandy says mad. Okay, so let's get our lower eyelid on there. And once we get that on there, then we'll add that top one to make him mad. Myra says mad. We got a lot of anger in the chat today. This is like some symbolism that the galaxy is mad at the world. Maybe I'm taking this too far. Maybe it's symbolism that the galaxy is mad at the new Star Wars movie that's coming out on Blu-ray this month. Or this month. Tree says, very symbolic indeed. So normally I would roll out the eyelids the same size. But I have to do them a little bit bigger because the eyes are different sizes. Jesse says, call him Max, or Mad Max. Jessica says, mad can also be mean, insane. Yes, he could be insane. All right, so now I'm going to smooth these in just a little bit. And Tree says, let's be honest, who isn't insane? Well, I definitely feel like I am sometimes. Ms. says it might be a mad monster crawling out of the drain. Yeah, he looks like he could be a drain monster. So lots of times on my upper eyelids, when I want to tilt them to make them sad or happy, I'll do a circle, cut it in half, and then I can apply it to both eyes. What I'm going to have to do on this guy is I'm not going to cut it exactly in half. I'm going to cut it a little bit off to the center. That creates a larger amount of clay that I could do for the bigger eye. So I'm going to take this smaller amount and spread it out a little bit. And then I'm just going to start on one side, bring it in, and then wrap it over that eyeball. So look at that. We've got one of the mean, angry eyes, mad eyes. Now I'm going to smooth out this other eyelid. And I'll probably do some blending back there to make them blend in more with the body. But running out of space in between the eyeballs. So I'm just going to start there in the middle again, angle it, wrap it around the eyeball. Now I'm going to bring it up to the camera a little bit more, and I'm going to smooth in the backs of these eyeballs just with my fingers. And I do have some silicone tools. So if I can't get into a spot with my finger, I can use this kind of cone shape and just lightly drag it across the clay to blend that in place. So there's a good look at what we've got so far. And I might blend it just a little bit more. And I'm not quite far enough down on this eyeball, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of a push. It'll kind of shift that clay. All right, what else does our clay galaxy drain monster need? Are we still wanting to do some wings on it? Are we wanting to do any other little tentacles, horns, spikes? I'm just going to kind of sculpt this. A bison bump. So like back here, give it like a hunchback type thing? Is that what you mean? Tree says yes. Okay. So I'm going to take a little more of my galaxy clay. Ms. says the way he looks, a bump is more fitting than wings now. Knickknacks Plastic Planet says he needs some horns. So should I add the bison bump and have the horns coming out of it? Let's see what I have for horns. I have these wicked horns. Or I could have these in between, and that's all one piece. Tree says that's so crazy, yes. Do we like these horns and put the bump over it? Like it's, like this middle part's going to be covered up, and then kind of like that. What do we think? Want to do the horns on the bump? Nick Neck says, yes, epic. Give him a heavy metal look. Absolutely. Miz says horns. All right. So I've got the horns pretty much in place. I mean, that's pretty easy with those being pre-made. Now I want to take a piece of clay here and I want to shape it so it'll cover and then kind of go down a little bit and give it a ridge. Get a drink here, guys. So. This guy isn't taking as long as some of my other ones, so if you have other ideas you want to add to him, or if we want to add some texture to the bison bump, definitely do some blending. So we'll bring it down here. So Jessica says texture. I am smoothing the base of the bump in so it kind of swirls into the rest of the galaxy body. It'll be a little trickier to smooth it in there. So what kind of texture are we wanting to do? Are we wanting to do it over the whole body? Are we wanting to do it just over the bump area? I could add some like little ridges. So where he's at right now. Dree says ridges. Over the, Jessica says over the bump. All right. I'm gonna kind of move. I want to give him a snarl, like just kind of. Just happened as looking at his mouth. It keeps shutting as I'm pushing him down, and so I want to open his mouth up a little bit and give him a snarl. And I'll probably do some adjustments right before I bake him, just so that mouth is a little more open. But if I do too much now, I'm just going to mess it up as I keep putting pressure on the top there. So I'm smoothing in where that ridge meets his eyelids. Dree, could he get a little more body on the back, some booty? I think so. I think we could give him a little booty. So let's add our ridges. Let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this needle tool and I'm going to start on one side and I'm going to pull it in and dent it. And then I'm going to drag it across. And then where it would meet up on the other side, I'm going to go back to with the needle and drag it back across, and that'll give our ridges. So I'll do that a few times. This will give it some, almost like a Klingon type ridge head, you know, forehead. All right. Now I'm getting quiet. I'm like focused. Too much concentration. All right, so yeah, this is working out pretty well. And I'll bring it in close to the camera when I'm done with the ridge part. Just need to make sure now I stay away from this area so I don't mess these up. Dre says he snarls like Worf too, yeah. Even brought that lip up a little bit there. All right, let's add a booty. So what I'm going to do, since he's pretty flat back there, we're going to need to add some clay back there to give him some definition to his booty. So kind of shape out a couple of oval or roundish pieces. Then I want to angle it up. And the fun thing about doing monsters, you don't have to follow the rules of anatomy. I think some of the most extreme looking monsters are ones where their facial features don't match up, or I've seen like Cyclopses that they have an eye in their mouth, or they don't have a nose but they have a third eye there. So there's a lot of weird things you can try to do, and it'll make the monsters even look more bizarre. As most natural creatures in nature, they have two eyes, and you have a nose and a mouth, and that's just especially like look at all the mammals and stuff. And so if you stray away from that and you make them more bizarre, it will definitely make them stand out more. So I'm gonna take my rubber tipped tool there to smooth in his booty. Tree says, I meant rounder in the back, but those cheeks are adorable. All right. He's getting cheeks. Trying to get this smoothed with my fingers on without messing up his ridges here. All right. I'm wondering, do you think I should bring this, sorry, I'm out of frame. Should I bring this tentacle forward or leave it back like that? Does it look like he's in motion that way? So I like this tentacle and I like to bring it up. It looks in motion. Okay, so we'll leave it back. I want to bring it up. I like to give it some flow to it. Ms. says it does, so keep it. All right. Is there anything else we need to add to this little guy? And if I need to bring it back up to the camera, let me know. And this leftover clay, what I'll do is I'll probably make some blobs with it, or I'll make a galaxy shell monster or something like that. And if I do that, I'll show you guys on Andrew's art live stream. So right now I'm just going to kind of wait on the chat for a minute. I know there's a delay to see. Dre says, I think he is cool as is. All right. Well, I think we'll end this here. I'm going to go ahead and bake it. Knickknack's Plastic Planet says, looks awesome. Thank you, Knickknack, and thanks for tuning in. If any of you guys are into collectible toys, especially Star Wars stuff, Star Trek, be sure to check out Knickknack's Plastic Planet's YouTube channel. He does great stuff. Delaney says, name, yes. I almost forgot we need to do a name for it. Great Team Hero, how long does the clay stay usable? Like the stuff I have out here, quite a while. I've had stuff for years. I mean, I'll put it in a plastic container, but there's also sometimes I ran into certain colors that are that dry up faster. I mean, I'll have stuff that's still in package and it'll dry up. Beige is one that's really bad. Knickknacks Plastic Planet says, thanks for the shout out. Absolutely, bud. You deserve it. Your stuff is awesome. Anyways, let's decide on a name. I know Jesse said Mad Max earlier, but I don't know if he was even being serious. Dree says some type of Klingon name. I think that would be good. Probably gonna have to write that down when we get it, so I don't forget it though. So, I've got a pen here. Find me a scratch piece of paper. You would think in an art room I'd have some paper. Great team heroes as Jeff. I almost like it too much. Jorf. Dree says Jorf. So we have one Jeff and one Jorf. Next one is the deciding vote. Miss says I have an open brown primo that is softer than unopened magenta pearl, both about a year old. Yep. Delaney says North. Ms. says Jorf. Delaney corrected it, Jorf. Probably auto-corrected it. All right, so this is Jorf. All right, so if you guys want to see how Jorf looks after he's baked, be sure to check out, I'll do a live stream tomorrow, but they're usually just short. I don't announce them. It's just easier to do it that way, and it'll be a quick look at Jorf. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's live stream. I will be doing some more throughout the week. I don't have a schedule, but next Sunday I will be doing the Let's Make a Monster live stream again at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, thanks for watching, and remember, never stop creating. Bye!